I've told the police. In fact, if anybody wants to go back to 1993 when I was interviewed by the Santa Barbara Police Department, I sat there and I gave them the names. They're on record. They have all of this information, but they were scanning Michael Jackson. All they cared about was trying to find something on Michael Jackson.
Who you said, by the way, did not abuse you.
Who Michael was innocent, and that was what the interview was about with the police in 1993. I told them he is not that guy.
Michael said that his biggest regret was settling that first lawsuit. Remember that one boy?
Now listen to this. I have to tell you this.
Okay.
So after I left the party, I get back to the Sheraton Hotel at Universal. There's 4 FBI agents waiting for me in the hotel room. And I looked over at my mom and I was like, are you serious, Mom? I was like, what is going on here? Why are you letting this happen? And she goes, oh, well, I think something happened. You know, I think something. I'm like, really? That man did nothing but be hospitable, kind, loving, giving. What the fuck is this? And I looked at my mom, I go, are you really trying to go at Michael and use me for a money grab? Are y'all crazy? I said, what you think I'm gonna do? Tell you that Michael did something bad so that we can sue him for money?
Well, the thing is with that whole thing is that, you know, they go, oh, you slept in the same bedroom as him. It's like, I don't think you understand. Michael Jackson's bedroom is 2 stories. And it has like 3 bathrooms and this and that. So when I slept in his bedroom, yeah, but you have to understand the whole scenario. And the thing is with Michael is that he's not very good at explaining himself. And he never really has been, because he's not a very social person. I mean, you're talking about someone who's been sheltered and sheltering himself also for the last like 30 years, or, you know, and so he's not very good at communicating to people and not very good at conveying what he's actually trying to say to you. And so when he says something like that, you know, people, you know, he doesn't quite understand why people react the way that they do.
How do you feel when they call you
Wacko Jacko? It's not nice. I'm not a wacko.
He was a big womanizer. Massively. He used to sit in the back of cars like this. His code for women was fish.
Get some more fish right here. Some more fish.
He'd be like, I like that fish. Can you bring that fish to my room? There was one particular girl who he fancied. So Michael, can I have a hug?
I want to give you a hug,
Of course. Give me more than a hug.
My machine talks over, hoping you won't hear that. It goes against the narrative.
His voice, was it that deep in real life?
They lie. They don't want to give me credit for anything.
No, he made us remind him, and we had to elbow him sometimes to, when he forgot. He was deep voice, he never had a high pitched voice. Yeah.
Did he talk to you in a normal deep voice?
Yeah.
There's a video online on one thing on a song that apparently he let it slip in the closet or something. Have you seen that?
I've seen it, yeah.
Is that his...
That's how he speaks, yeah.
That's how he speaks?
That's how he shouts at you when he's not happy. Yeah.
When he shouts?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it, man. He's got a proper deep voice. They're all the high pitched voice. Jackie Jackson's got a high pitched voice.
But he doesn't talk like that.
No.
So why would he put that on? Is that just
the mystery? He wanted his life to be the greatest show on earth. He used to say to us, keep the mystery going.
Okay.
He used to say people have to be interested for them to stay interested in you. So he come up with all these ideas.
You wanting to have a little white boy play you in a Pepsi commercial. Why would I want a white child to play me? I'm a black American. I'm proud to be a black American. I am proud of my race. I am proud of who I am. I have a lot of pride in who I am and dignity. That's like you wanting an Oriental person to play you as a child. Does that make sense? No. So please, people, stop believing these horrifying stories.
Let's go.
You can imagine now my understanding of the facts surrounding the MJ case, that he went to war with Sony, one of these major companies, and he was winning that war. And then suddenly the world was told that Michael Jackson is a or somebody is an anti-Semite. Michael Jackson, I think, was called all of those things. Wacko Jacko. They gave him a name.
How do you feel when they call you
Wacko Jacko? It's not nice. I'm not a wacko.
The exact same tactics that they tried to use on me. Someone pressed a button and there was a full court press effort to cancel Candace Owens by trying to convince the people that she just went crazy and anti-Semitic.
I'll never forget that. Michael Jackson saved me from getting on a plane to that tiny island.
So they're saying Neverland is where Michael Jackson took children to protect them from what was being done on Epstein's island. And because he was going against their regime, they punished him and they flipped the script and made it appear as if he was the one abusing them, when in reality they were abusing them, and he was protecting the children, he was protecting the celebrities. And you have celebrities like Macaulay Culkin who have gone on record to protect and defend Michael Jackson. This all makes sense.
Yo, back on Don't Gas, I guess for the last time, because we're probably going to get cancelled after this one.
Go
Well, do you know
Well,
what?
if they
It's a
if they
worthy
if
cause
they
to do it
do
for.
if they do, then we've hit a nerve. We know we've hit
Yeah,
a
man.
nerve. So boy, you better keep us rolling, really.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. But there's been a lot, obviously, said about MJ. A lot's come out. Obviously, the Epstein files have come out, and there's a lot of kind of narrative around that and MJ and that. But what I want to know is, who out of you thought he was guilty in the beginning? You know, when it first came out that he was into this, they were saying that he was into kids and they're staying in his room. And was it, they called it Jesus juice, drinking Jesus juice and all this business.
Yeah.
Did anyone here believe that was true in the beginning?
Well, the thing is, right, like,
I never.
right, I like the thing, right, Michael Jackson was my first idol. Like, I still have, like, vivid memories of I think my 4th birthday or whatever you like. It was like I'd stayed till midnight, and my birthday present was, I think, the Bad album. And a 4-year-old, like, it was like I was just obsessed with the guy. And then when all that came out, obviously my parents, as everyone did back then, it's on the news, so therefore the news isn't going to lie. And it took line and sinker. And then obviously I believed it for years until things roll on and things start to happen, and you get a bit older and you start looking at the way the world works and you start figuring a few things out. And obviously that sort of eye-opener is now snowballing, isn't it, in this current climate?
Yeah, definitely. I think even the way, if you remember back to the whole court case, not only were they making him look crazy, they were trying to make his fans look crazy as well. Them fanatics that were outside the courtroom, pleading his innocence, and they made even the fans look crazy. That's taking it seriously far to try and prove a point, if you like. But if you look at the timing of everything, I mean, you got the Sony thing, and you had the idea to have all of the Marvel in one place, and he was going to do that, and now Disney are doing that, and it's like strange how all this stuff happens, and then all of a sudden he dies, or something big's going on in the world, and all of a sudden Michael Jackson's in the papers and on the news and that. But you're saying, JD, you never believed it from the beginning. Why not?
No, I don't know. Like he just didn't come across like that kind of guy. And like I said, as a kid, you grew up watching Michael Jackson and just knowing about this guy, innit? So yeah, I don't know, man. I just never believed it. I just didn't think that I just didn't think he had that, had that in him, personally,
Do you know what it was though as well, what you're touching on there, Jay? And it was in there was a clip, I think his bodyguard was talking about it, was even though he was the biggest star in the world, like, he wasn't very accessible. And I remember as a kid when the Oprah interview dropped, and it was the first chance he had to have a look at his private life behind closed doors, the Neverland Ranch, things like that. And like, most of the world watched it because, like I say, even though he was the biggest star, you knew very little about him behind closed doors. And I think in a way that's how things should be. Do you know what I mean? Your job as an entertainer is be there to entertain when it is. And yeah, like, it's up to you if you want people to know, like, who you're sleeping with, whether you getting groupies or so you do have to have a sort of certain level of privacy, because you would just go mad. That's why all these fucking reality stars end up topping themselves, because the only thing they've got going for them is being in the public eye and basically showing people what they've had for breakfast, showing what they had for tea last night. Like, but you can afford not when you're that size.
I just think the demonization was on the next level, man. Like, I'd never seen anything like it for any other person.
But sorry, I just want to touch on something though. But you see, back to what Blunt said. You see with that Oprah, when Oprah did the interview or whatever, or the hit piece on him, like, that kind of made you think, like, hold on, like, did Mike do it? Or because they came out with some stuff in that was just sick. So like, you kind of like, you kind of did second guess it, but then afterwards, like, when you think about it, it's like, nah, man, like, Mike, nah,
Something else in that clip as well, where it said he wasn't very good at explaining himself. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he might be the best entertainer in the world, but not everyone's a conversationalist. Not everyone can sort of articulate the thoughts and feelings in a proper way and come across concise, which is why, like you say, when you look back at what happened with the Martin Bashir, he went in there with a bigger hatchet than Oprah, in my opinion, and he is an intellectual, and you can tie him in knots, and you see what happens when these people who are a little bit intellectual bite off more than can chew, such as Jordan Peterson when he was on Channel 4 News. against that woman that tried to sort of paint him as a misogynist, etc. And he just got that's what he says there. He goes, got you. And she's, you know what I mean? But Michael Jackson isn't that person. He can't sit there and like he's. And if you've done no wrong, you're probably thinking like, why the fuck do I have to sit here and defend myself?
And to be honest with you, you know the first court case where they said like he settled out of court. I think that's probably what made a lot of people think like, you know, well, if you didn't do it, why didn't you fight in it? Because I mean that's probably how I would have looked at it. Like if I hadn't done that to you, I ain't giving you no money, I ain't settling. But for a lot of these people, like, you know, they'll just like be in court for ages and like just spend a lot of money. Just think, you know what, it's easy, just settle this, just make it go away and let me just carry on with my life and career. But
yeah,
you know, like when
what about you?
Like I said,
what about you, Bizzle, man? Like when it first, like you first heard about it, what was your thoughts at the time?
Yeah, I never really believed it, man. I just thought it was a witch hunt, man. But like that's the problem we have, man, because it's like Blunt was saying, you get the right person to interview him, they could just tie him in knots, and that's exactly what happens all the time, man.
I think we lost
I
Bizzle
guess,
again, man.
we have always been skeptical of people. Yeah, I've always been a bit skeptical, man. And I'm not very trusting of the powers that be. I've always been a bit skeptical of these guys. And I guess as a public, you got to remember we see something is easy to believe, you know, but nobody really asks the difficult questions or nobody really digs beneath the surface. And that's the danger with the public opinion as well. Like it's just whatever is thrown out there, it just gains momentum and gravitas, and people just run with it, man. It's nobody ever really stops to ask a question. You know,
and it wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was the court of public opinion, and as well when you go back to like when the first allegations dropped, what was it that you might be able to correct me? We'll probably talk about 92, 93, 94-ish, maybe. And then, but at that time, you never knew, you couldn't trust mainstream news. You never knew that the news was feeding you what they need to hear because it was being propagated and the narrative was being set by the people that owned these outlets and had all these schemes going on in the background. Back then, you picked up a paper, you thought, oh, yeah, or you pretend, particularly something like BBC or Channel 4 News, you know, you think you'd be able to trust stuff like that. Now we know different. Like, literally, if this had come about now, in this age, he was still alive, and we're reading these allegations now in the world we know we live in, it wouldn't have even made lunchtime headline. Do you know what I mean? It'd be like, get the fuck out of here. But, like, back then, they could get away with it.
I don't know, man. People are still.
It all depends. It all depends. It's not. I mean, they've done it to other people since, and people have believed it. I mean, they have.
No, but you know, personally, when I realized that the news was ridiculous and a lot of bullshit, it was when Diana died, because that, like, just common sense hit me. Like, you know what? Yeah, these people have the best drivers, the most professional drivers. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys are not going to be drunk. They're not going to be drinking. None of that. So that's when it really hit me. Like, nah, you know what? Yeah, a lot of this is straight horse shit. Like,
I remember that, and they were saying he's the other thing was the security guard that survived. His tongue was missing. Is that's all? Like, just his tongue. That's the only injury he had. Like, come on, man. Like, that's almost a warning. Like, don't talk. Like, this is the beginning. Don't talk. Crazies. But yeah, no, you're right, and I remember that, and I don't think anyone that I know believed that was an accident. I don't
what do you think she knew? Like, now we know what's going on within the royal family. I mean, Daft Ass has just been arrested this morning. Like, when she's trying to get a clean break, and like she's trying to get a clean break, and she knows all this, and then obviously they were fucking fuming that she met a Muslim, and the rumors were she's pregnant, and etc. And we all know how much they value this bloodline and things like that. And then she must know stuff that was going on between Andrew and that is fucking demented Mrs. Sarah Ferguson. Like, they splashed all over these Epstein files.
She would have known a lot.
Wait. It's still alleged. It's still alleged.
I don't care. Like,
it's still alleged though, man. Until it's proven, it's alleged, mate. Just saying.
All right then. Allegedly. Demented, but nah, I just think that like she knew something, but and that's it. It's a hatchet job, isn't it? Like it's weird how like Michael Jackson, like you say settled out of court, but like didn't get found guilty once, didn't get found guilty twice.
Well, no evidence either. You know, no evidence.
It was
listen,
hearsay,
with that
wasn't
kind
it?
of thing. Listen, with that kind of thing, in any other circumstances, the first thing they're going to look for is DNA evidence. And if you've been doing that kind of thing, you're going to find something. How come there was no shred of DNA evidence? That's mad.
No, do you remember as well? Like, and sorry, I don't know if it was on an Oprah thing, but there was one part where they talk about Mike tried to do something to one of the boys, yeah, and apparently there was some underpants with blood, and Michael Jackson was calculated and went back and got them. I thought to myself, straight horseshit. Michael Jackson, like, nah.
I remember that. I remember hearing that
like,
as well.
Like,
Still.
you know, I remember watching that and thinking that's ridiculous. But you know, because like you know what a conniving person is, you know, looks and sounds like. And Michael Jackson has never sounded like that ever. You know, like he was a child star. Like, you know, a lot of his childhood was, you know, you could say taken away from him. So he didn't, you know, he didn't grow up mature. Like he was a kid in the limelight, and you know, just didn't go through.
Imagine
stuff
being a kid
that gives you that awareness.
Yeah. A kid in the limelight who has everything at his fingertips.
Yeah,
do you get me? It's not. It's different, man. That's a different upbringing, completely.
You know?
I just wanted to ask, yeah. So we all know what's been going on in the news lately. So since this whole Epstein allegations, as that kind of, I know I'm talking to you now, Blunt, because obviously you did believe it in the beginning. You said so. What's changed? How has that shaped your thinking now? Like the whole Epstein saga.
What's happened with that now, right? So I'll go back a little bit. When I started learning about how he was at war with Sony, and we know like Tommy Mottola, what he was capable of allegedly, and like what's happened with your Mariah Carey, things like, right? When you go to war with these big fucking super companies, and then when you start
like Drake,
when you start fair enough, yeah. When you start hearing these things, like I'd made my mind up before I knew who Epstein was, because you can just see a motive straight away. Do you know what I mean? Like that's like before, when there's no motive there, you're like, why would people lie, or why would people fit him up? Once I'd heard all that and like the amount of hundreds of millions that are at stake, you think, well, yeah, there's the perfect reason. Now this just cements that my change in opinion is correct, because I think now you know the horrible, horrific people, demons that are running the show. And if you think of someone like JD said, Michael Jackson seemed to have a pure, kind soul, you know, like he doesn't think twice. Like, well, why would anyone think I'm doing anything wrong? You know, I'm taking these kids to a theme park. Like someone like Michael Jackson, who had the influence he had, and he could go on and he could challenge. I mean, look at the way he's done Eminem, just straight away. Don't like what he's done there. Bang, bought his music. You know, my bitch. Do you know what I mean? Like that much influence and that much power. And when you start going up against your Sonys or your Disneys and you start winning, and you could basically get an uprising going because more people follow you, believe in you than any of these sort of governors, prime ministers, presidents, media corporations. They must look and think, right, he isn't going to be one of us. Now this fucker has to go.
Yeah, and so you look at other stuff that Michael Jackson was doing as well. Like he'd like buy people's catalogs and just give it back to them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So you can see like he was just a genuine, like for me, like obviously I didn't know the man, but he just seemed like a genuinely just a good person. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of person ain't messing around with kids. Like you could there's no way two things going to be like within one person. Like it's just no.
And that exact point that you've just made there, JD, let me ask you this, right? So for a massive label, like whether you've got like Atlantic Records, Sony Records, BGM, all these huge records that control the music industry, right? We know they feed off artists, so they basically own the publishing rights, etc. So when you've got someone that just tottles along and basically buys the rights to the catalogue of the publishing right and just gives it to the artist, so basically just takes the money drip away from the label, like, that's the worst thing that can happen to a record label. Do you know what I mean? Someone just come along and go, right, well, that's what you earn off. I'm just going to give it back to the person that made it. Like, there's got to be thinking like, oh, this fucker has to go here. He's bad for business.
Correct. And that's exactly
it. So the mad thing to me is that people accusing him of what they accused him of turn out to be the ones who actually are doing that shit. That you got some balls to do that. Pause. I'm sorry. Like you're actually doing it, and you want to blame someone else and hope it don't come out, and then it's just all imploded, isn't it? You know what I mean? And we know, we know what's been going on.
Hold on, but you see, hold on, but you see, it's imploded now. All right, cool. It's become public, or some things are coming out. But what's going to happen? Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen because the vast majority of the public, it's too much for them to consume and believe. It just blows what you know about your existence out of the water. So it's easy for them to just bury their head in the sand and call it a conspiracy.
I don't think it's that blunt. I don't think it's that this time, because I have not met a single person who doesn't believe it. So I think people. I think people do believe it. But the problem you got is the people who can do something about it are in these circles. Do you get me? The people that can actually do things about it, they're part of these circles. So who's going to make it happen? They're pretty much saying, yeah, you might think we did that. We're never going to come out and say it, even though all the evidence is there. What are you going to do about it? That's pretty much how I'm taking it.
But the thing is as well, though, that there is another set of people that do something about it. And that's the masses. That's us. But we would have to basically just... like Avengers assemble, excuse the pun, you know what I mean, and go down. And like these people like Guy Fawkes are vilified. They're like, Guy Fawkes is right bed out. And then when you look now and you think, fucking hell, he was onto something. Do you know what I mean? It's this is what needs to happen, because this that they've built, this massive trap that we all live in, has been in the making since those days. And people have seen it throughout the ages. And what happens is history writes its own, the winner writes its own history, and then we vilify these people because they go against the grain of the establishment. But if the masses just went and marched on these fucking places of power, they couldn't fight you all off. But people,
the problem you got is they've got their comfy lives in, you know what I mean, and they don't want to rock the boat. And that's what it is at the end of the day. It's like, why would I give up this ease just so that this can happen, and they won't do it? Yeah, that's what it is.
That's what I meant. That's exactly the original point I made. But when you see these, when you watch the news, you see these coups happening and stuff like that. It's usually in countries that are not as stable in terms of financially, in terms of the economy. So they've got less to lose by kind of going, but people feel like they've got too much to lose. That's what it is. I'm telling you. How many of these coups?
Or if you go to the Piers Morgan thing, where that woman was like, yeah, only people who are losers were her.
I'll tell you what, let's name a shame.
Wow.
Lady Victoria Hervey, another fucking idiot.
I don't even know her name, to be honest.
Yeah, Victoria Hervey. And all she was a fucking it girl, wasn't it? She was dating one of the royals or whatever. But when she's saying, if you're not in them files, you're a bit of a loser. And I'm like, well, call me a loser. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't want to be fucking tied or even associated with that level. Do you know what I mean? The only way I'd want my name, if I was famous, to crop up in them files is basically, we invited him and we caught him trying to set fire at the place, so we had to get him the fuck out of there. Do you know what I mean? It's just, but like you said,
did you hear when they said to Piers Morgan that your name was in it, and he was like, "What are you talking about?"
Oh yeah, he was in there a few times.
I saw the list. I didn't see his name.
He didn't want to talk. He didn't want to talk about why. I mean, somebody.
I didn't see his name. They released the full list. I was looking for his name there. I couldn't see his name there.
Do you know what as well, though? Do you know what they did with the list, right? And this is how, I know this sounds stupid, how crafty they are. Do you know, it's sensible. If you had a register of, say, if I said you write, list in 3 columns on a page, every player that played for Arsenal since 2000, right? You would go A, B, B, B. They didn't across the 3 columns. They're like A, B, 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 C, C, C. So when I was looking,
I noticed that.
I'll be honest, it threw me, and I'm thinking, what is this?
His name wasn't there, bro. I checked it 3-4 times, and I noticed that it was going across rather than in columns. Yeah. It was going across. I noticed that straight away, and I couldn't see his name there, bro. Yeah, there's quite a few people in there, man. Quite a few people in there.
Some of the people just literally went there and performed, didn't they? It was that's basically all it was. But you hear all these things cropping up and whatnot. But I just think, like you say, since now all this is coming out. I mean, I've always been a little bit of a conspiracy theorist. Like there's things that I think are deadly obvious, and there's little theories that you hear and you think, do you know what? I'd like that to be true, and you'd share it in conversation. People
I don't think this is a theory. I don't think this is a.
Well, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Like this is basically one of them things where, like, you've got that one friend that's been telling you like the moon landing was fake and 9/11 was an inside job and and you're like, oh, by the way, they're killing these babies, and like they put it in all the Disney films, and they're like, fuck off, and then you're like, yeah, welcome to the party.
but you see, the thing is as well, like you see with like what they're releasing and that, like. Some of this stuff is so dark, it's unbelievable. You know what I'm saying?
It's proper dark. Proper dark. Have you heard about the burgundy shoes? Have you heard about the burgundy shoes?
No, I'm not sure that I want it.
Red shoe gang, yeah.
Red shoe gang, yeah.
No,
that's
have
you not heard about it? Just ago.
No. Listen, bro, listen. I'm not trying to look at this stuff like you lot, bro. I'm not looking at this list. Like, bro, you know what, yeah? I hear what you're saying, like, but bro, a lot of the stuff like I don't want to know. You know what I'm saying? Like I know like roughly what's going on, but I don't need to know the intricacies. Couple, it would make me sick. And
it's true, but I'd rather know than not know. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather know than not know.
You are right, but that's like feeding the point I was making. That it's so horrific and so dark. A, it makes it unbelievable, and B, it's hard to stomach. Do you know what I mean? So they're sat there in their ivory tower thinking, well, do you know what? If all this gets out anyway, people haven't got the stomach to listen to it anyway.
Bro, let me tell you
that's
something,
not true. Because they desensitize people through TV, through movies, through video games. People are desensitized now to the point they'll watch it. And they'll report back on it.
You've just heard JD say there that JD said he doesn't want to know the ins and outs. And to be honest with you, some of the stuff I've written,
the intricacies, isn't it?
I wish I hadn't seen.
This coming from the guy who sends very questionable videos into the group chat. Yeah. Whenever I see a video come into the group chat, whenever I see a video come into the group chat, and someone's on a ledge fairly high up, or they're pushing weights, and you're thinking something bad's gonna happen here. And I know that you've sent it. I don't even watch it.
I'm gonna send it to Blunt. Get Blunt to send him instead.
Do you know what?
You sent one the other day.
or the gym one. The guy
didn't watch it. I didn't watch it. As soon as I saw what it was, I was like, nope.
Nah, bro, it's like they're actually funny though. Some of them are actually funny. But
so someone's slipping over, but someone getting both the fucking hands and feet crushed. I don't know, like it's like I don't know. If you've ever broke a leg, like
it'd
since
be
I
like
broke my leg,
it'd be like someone's knee going the wrong way or something like that.
Since I broke my leg, I cannot watch a leg break. When you watch it, I'm like, oh god.
The way I see it is, if I've seen it, you'll have to see it too, innit? Like that's
Yeah, but I know what's coming now. You can't even do that because as soon as I see the first few seconds of the video, and I know you've sent it. Nope, it might be something different. I'm never gonna know that because I ain't watching.
No way. I'm gonna buy a burner phone or something. I start sending you. But you know what? Yeah, seriously, like I said, like with this stuff and how dark it is, bro. I'm just glad that I don't eat McDonald's and that kind of stuff, man. Because, bro, it's crazy. Like,
but you know what?
It's actually crazy. Like,
it's mental. And do you know what? Like a few years ago, someone told me about Pizzagate, right? And it was like that was the code word for kids' pizza. And then there was that whole thing with the pizza place that was near the White House, and apparently they used to have the pizza parties upstairs, and it was all like, do you know how fucking ridiculous you sound? These politicians are getting kids in this place, in this pizza parlor, rah, rah. And then now it's all there, all the fucking code words: beef jerky, pizza, this code for a boy, this code for a girl. And it's just literally, it's like all them people that were telling you were daft and you've watched too much fucking X-Files, or do you know what I mean? And like now it's there in fucking black and white, and it's like now you've got to look at all the other shit that people threw out with the bathwater before and just dismissed as ridiculous, 9/11 inside job.
Them people are doing this, bro. They're doing this. Them people that said it was too much to believe are doing that. They're closing their eyes and their ears, bro.
No,
they don't want to believe it,
man. They need to believe for them to function. They need to believe that the world is just all black and white and as they see it.
It's like the Matrix, man. Ignorance is bliss, isn't it? That's what they're doing.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing. But question.
But
so
okay, no. Okay,
go
no.
on.
But listen, so everybody know, like, listen, no one's gonna do anything. You know what I'm saying?
This
So
is
like,
this is the problem.
like, no one is gonna do anything. These people,
we said that before, though,
listen,
bro.
these people are politicians, judges.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know,
the
like
thing.
major celebrities. Like, these are the people that, you know, own the police. They own, like, you know, say they own government. So like, it's a mad one, bro. It's mad.
You know what? Right? I only realized the other day.
But these are the people that, like I said, that control society. They're educating you, like your kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's deep. It's actually deep, like.
And the control and the news that you see, the TV that you see, etc. But like Buckstar saying, they do desensitize, they do warn you, and you just think they're taking the piss when they give you these warnings. Like first of all, and it's like they're just like, look what we're gonna do.
Bro, not only that, bro.
Is that the Nickelodeon logo that's the same shape as Epstein's Island? That's mad.
No, bro, listen, you know they're taking the piss. They're taking the piss, allowing this information to get out there. Because it's like, all right, yeah, we do this. Like, we'll drip feed you, like, you know, what we're doing and that, and no one ain't gonna do shit. So
yeah,
like, you know,
well, something I've heard, and I haven't seen any evidence to back this up. Or obviously, there was the thing when it was starting to creep in that Trump was involved, and then there was that recording I mentioned on one of the other pods. We don't know it's genuine, where he's saying, "Do not allow these fucking files to come out." Blah blah blah. I'll take these all down with me. And then all of a sudden, they just drop. The DOJ drops them, and the rumor was that Trump had the order to bomb Iran, and he basically said, "No, I'm not bombing Iran at the moment." Blah blah blah, and literally within 3 days, the files came out. So they must have threatened him with it, and he's gone, "Nah, no, you won't bring too many people down."
I've heard rumors or stories that he has been threatened, basically, with certain things.
I just want to say for the record now, I believe Donald Trump's a good, wholesome guy. Just saying.
Wholesome, you know.
Do you know what? I can just see the part 2 of this when the second load of files come out, and JD's gonna be like, "Well, I didn't know he was doing that."
No, it's not even that, man. We'll be back next week, and JD won't be here, and we'll be like, "You may have heard that JD said some things." Well, we've had to remove him from all programming.
Well, I don't know if he's coming out and backing Donald Trump. He'll be in his cabinet office, won't he, next week?
What is it? Backing Trump, free R. Kelly.
I used to
free this, free that.
No.
What the hell, man?
Listen, not Diddy anymore. No, not Diddy.
Not anymore.
I said not anymore. You know. Free Man City. That's the other one. It's like all these people are blatantly guilty.
Free Man City.
Like freedom. Free Man City, free the boys. That's what he says, bro. I'm telling you.
You've got like pedophiles, genocidal maniacs, sociopaths, megalomaniacs. Man City.
Man City, yeah. Sheikh Mansour. Right. Question, yeah. Why is it that no one listens to the accusers? Sorry, that no one listens. I've got it the other way around. No one listens to the people who are actually coming out and saying this never happened. Nobody. And so many different celebrities have come out and said MJ never done nothing. MJ never did this. He never did that. He was a good host. He was like, it was a great time. Da da da. You've got even people like Macaulay Culkin saying that he prevented him from going to Epstein Island. He saved him from getting on a plane and going to the island. Why is it that these people are never ever listened to, even though they've come out for years saying this stuff, man?
Right, this is going to sound stupid, right? But you know, when people, like, if you start a small business or a business whatever, and you know the sort of general rule of thumb is that if people have a good experience in your restaurant, they'll tell 2 or 3 people. If people have a bad experience in your restaurant, they'll tell 15, and all 15 will listen. And I just think that's what it is, obviously, like, because of the perpetual state of drama that the news has created over the last 60 years. Like, it's just, we just assume that everything bad is true. But like you say, like when you listen to some of the accusers, and you like what weight did it hold? Do you know what I mean? First time around, second time around, And you've got, like you say, you've seen the clip there of Aaron Carter. Basically, his own man's telling him, like, yeah, tell him this, tell him that. You know, he's like, what the fuck, no? Like Corey Feldman saying, like, Michael Jackson was sound as fuck. This is the same Corey Feldman. There was two Coreys, right? There was the famous, like, sort of child actor. There was Corey Feldman and, help me out, someone, Corey. He might have been another one in Lost Boys. He's since he killed himself or died of an overdose.
No, that's what's his name, man?
Is it something Carter?
No, that's Aaron Carter. But no, there was two Coreys. I'm sure there was Corey Feldman and Corey something else. I'm sure I might be wrong. I'll check it out. But this other guy, the other lad, they interviewed him about this Michael Jackson thing. Did he do anything to you? Blah blah. He said, "I was signing office in LAPD," and he said, "Oh, it's Corey Feldman telling the story on his behalf." But he'd been allegedly raped on a movie set by Charlie Sheen, like in between two actors' trailers. And he was like, "No, but this is what happened." And they were just, "No, that didn't happen. We don't want to know about that. What's happened to the Michael Jackson thing?" So they're going in with the narrative. Do you know what I mean? But
Charlie Sheen, though? What, Charlie? I don't know.
Well, apparently, I'll find that for you. That's a different chat for a different day. But it just feeds into the fact that, like, once this dog's got a bone, do you know, it's not going to let go of it. And I think that's part of the reason why.
I've got to find out this name now because it's doing my head in. It's doing my head in, and I know who it is, man.
While you have a look, I'll raise another point as well. There was two sets of allegations. There was the early ones that settled out, etc., and then it came back around, and it was who was the fucker that was getting interviewed by Leaving Neverland? It was the dancer, that Wade Robson, and then he was saying things like, "Oh, do you know, like soon if I ever hear a Michael Jackson song or a beat or whatever, like it does things to me, and I feel sick and blah, 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 like some of the worst like improv acting you've seen." And then when you look at some of the stuff he was doing since and before, he's teaching Michael Jackson dance classes. It's on the internet. He's teaching 100 people to dance the Thriller. And he's giving off as soon as he is the first note of fucking Man in the Mirror, he fucking vomits. Like,
is it River Phoenix that you're thinking of, by the way?
No, it wasn't River Phoenix. I'm sure there was
River Phoenix and Corey Feldman were tight, and both of them went through abuse. And obviously, River Phoenix died, didn't it?
He was a drug addict, wasn't he? River Phoenix, I think he used to do speedballs and shit like that. But
apparently, that's what pushed him into it. Is all the abuse and stuff like that.
That'll do it as well. The girl off the Poltergeist as well. You know, Caroline. Yeah, she died heroin overdose. 15. She was apparently passed around. The rumors about Spielberg and all this business, like fucking. Seen the clip of Shia LaBeouf where he's getting interviewed for some movie promotion, and they said about something we don't know about Steven Spielberg, and he goes, "Oh, he eats babies," and everyone just goes, because that's how ridiculous it sounded. Now you're like, yeah, probably, yeah. It's come out today. Ellen DeGeneres has been online today trying to do a fucking video wherever she's fucking hiding away, defend herself, because apparently in the files she is what they call Hollywood's most prolific cannibal.
Yeah, I heard that as well, and I saw a video. It was the other day she put it out, yesterday or the day before, and she was there pleading with everyone not to believe all the stories and blah blah blah. And,
yeah, that's a thing. You know, we already knew she was a thunder cunt.
Bunch of wrong ones.
Oh man, say again.
Do you know, Bizzle's at the nail on the head.
Bunch of wrong ones, isn't it?
Huh? Yeah, that's what they are. They're a bunch of fucking wrong ones.
Properly, man. Properly. Like, I would never ever want my child to go into acting, into music, into any of these industries. I just would not want it, bro. No way.
Do you know what? You can see why these like sort of like overpowering sort of father types are like, no, I'm gonna be your manager. I'm gonna be your tour manager. I'm gonna oversee the hours outside. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, what are you gonna do? Just leave me in a room with them fuckers? Like, I'll be back to pick you up.
Allegedly,
walk it off.
Allegedly, what tends to happen to those people is they say, if you want, they'll go to the star and say, if you want to make it to that next level, you need to sacrifice someone close to you. Next thing you know,
sacrifice.
Next thing you know, and there's been a few. I don't know. It's allegedly, because obviously we don't know for sure. But there's been a few questionable ones. Kanye's
mum was
Michael Jordan.
Kanye's mum died during plastic surgery or something in it, and like when you've got all the money in the world, the best plastic surgeons are there and there. Do you know what I mean? Like, you understand if you go to some back alley in Turkey for a fucking BBL and you bleed out on the table. You know what I mean? But like, not when you've got Kanye money, that doesn't happen. You know, because I know somebody that nearly fucking died on the flight home because all the fucking wounds just split open on the plane.
Serious? Oh gosh.
Seriously, yeah. Nearly bled out on the plane home.
Yeah, but
Man.
I mean, I don't know, about plastic surgery or anyone who's ever had it, but I'm sure that no matter who your surgeon is, how well known or how much money you've got, they make you sign waivers and all that kind of stuff, and it can happen to anybody. Like, just because you have money, okay, like
it could happen.
You might mitigate some risk, but it's not foolproof, So I mean, I don't know.
It just seems that like all these examples that just seem to be like dead, like sort of like weird, innocuous deaths. Do you know what I mean? It's not just like, I mean, look at fucking go back. What Eric Clapton? Is it Eric Clapton? His son? I'm sure it was Eric Clapton. Not Eric Clapton. Yeah, Eric Clapton's 4-year-old son, 15 stories up when he was on tour. Boom, out the window, done.
Wow, didn't know that.
Yeah.
Last question, yeah. Is this the first with MJ, the first modern example of a smear campaign? Can you remember any other? I know there's not going to be many as big because obviously it's Michael Jackson, but can you remember any others before that? Like
OJ.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
I'm sorry.
Hey. He was found innocent, bro.
No, listen.
That nigga's guilty, bro.
Listen.
Why is
I
he guilty?
But what? Listen. In order to get away from murder, you have to be highly intelligent, and OJ was not that. Like, listen, like, listen, like,
you got intelligent people around him, bro.
Listen, in all seriousness, listen, like, if you commit a crime like that, like, in passion or whatever, like, heat in a moment, yeah, you're not getting away and not, like, leaving no forensic evidence or having forensic evidence on you or in your car or on your clothes. Like, no forensics. You killed two people with no forensics.
Come on,
you're forgetting about her.
Yeah, I know.
Her gardener,
listen,
I don't know if you know this, Bizzle, but her gardener was a convicted murderer.
Yeah,
he's a convicted murderer.
But
serial killer, and he was a gardener.
Let me just step in, right? This guy that copped to their murders, right? He was already on like life without parole, right?
For how many murders? And he was working in that house.
Yeah. For plenty to do kind of fit. Yeah, for plenty. But you know what? If you're never going to see the light of day and you're sat there in prison, you're like, yeah, and do you know them too? Yeah, that was me. Do you know, like, yeah, that was me as well. Let me finish. Like Weebay off the wire. He's like, yeah, that was me. Yeah, that was me. Yeah.
Nah, bro, this is something different. I'll tell you why that was different. Yeah, if OJ had gone on to have, hang on. If he'd have gone on to have some booming career after all this happened, I'd be like, okay, something fishy going on. Bro, his career was dead after that. It was done. He didn't have anything to gain from anybody. Listen
to me. Forget his career. Forensic evidence. My man's gone from the scene to a car chase. Where's the blood all over you? You've just killed two people with a knife. Where's the blood? Come on.
Yeah, but he didn't get chased. He didn't get chased.
So what you're saying to me then is impossible to make stuff like that disappear.
Okay,
listen. Stop.
Listen. Let me trace evidence.
Straight from that. He didn't get chased straight from the incident.
My guy, listen. What I'm saying is this, right?
Do you think he only had one car?
No. But what I'm saying, if you got enough money, you can make anything disappear, bro. Like anything, like. You can make witnesses disappear. You can make anything disappear.
So, Bizzle, yes, but a black man in America who's killed two white people, you're not making that disappear with money. You're not.
Yeah, but yeah.
Facts, bro. Facts. I don't care.
Yeah, but you don't know what circles this man was in, though. At the end of the day, like. You
bro, listen, I'm not being funny. I'm gonna put this out there. I'm gonna put this out there for you, Bizzle. Yeah. OJ never had Diddy money. He never had Bill Cosby money. And them man never got away with nothing. The money couldn't get
Bill Cosby. Listen, I don't even buy that Bill Cosby nonsense, bro. I'm waiting for him to get vindicated next, bro. It's only a matter of time. You know what I mean? Like you guys don't do the digging. Bill Cosby. Even another one that nobody even questions. You see, Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant's death was very mysterious. Yeah. And then when you look into Kobe Bryant, he had a big case going on as well against some insurances or some pharmaceuticals or something.
Yeah,
massive case going on.
Giants. and then his helicopter drops out of the sky, the same journey that he's done how many times?
A million times over.
And then they go, oh,
that's
there was a bit of fog.
But this is what I'm saying. You got enough money, man. Like money, it's all about money. That's the problem is, and it's sad, like when you think about it. But this is the difficulty we have, like, because people are so easily impressionable. That's why they will continue to get away with this rubbish. Nothing is gonna come out of all this Epstein nonsense. This is just eventually it's gonna blow over, and these guys will continue living their life and doing the same foolishness, and we're gonna be in the same boat, bro.
Listen, you know what's going to happen now. No, let me just say this quickly, sorry, Jay. Right, what's going to happen now? Like, just to back up what Bizzle says, right? Now this is happening. The more pace it gathers, and the next batch of files have to be released when they finish redacting the bits they absolutely have to. When the next batch of files, right, it's just going to speed up the process towards the world war, because they're just going to turn them wheels as fast as they can, and that's the biggest distraction you can give the world is a world war, because when them fucking bombs start flying and people start dying, right, all this is going to go out with the news, and then it'll just go away. Like, we should still be talking about COVID and what that was, all the stuff that's coming in the files about COVID. Like, that's a nailed on fucking hoax, but it's going to go
I'll be honest with you, right? That's when COVID is the one that really cemented it for me, you know, because during that time, I was waiting to get. No, hold on. I'm just saying that's what really cemented it for me, because during that period, I was doing delivery work for a company that delivers medication, bro. So I was delivering to hospitals on a daily basis, and people were telling me what they were seeing on the news, and I was telling them what I'm seeing with my eyes, and people were calling me a fool and telling me that I'm stupid for not jumping on the flipping bandwagon. And when I'm telling people that the A&Es were empty, they were telling me that I'm talking rubbish. So I'm saying I'm seeing it with my own eyes, but I got people adamant that what they're being told is correct. Bro, this it's just gonna be the same thing. It's gonna continue and perpetuate itself. And COVID showed me that people are so easily impressionable that they, like, I had friends that were angry with me for not taking the vaccine, yeah. And it's like, I mean, literally day in, day out, I'm like, what's this vaccine? What's in it? What? And these people call themselves intellectuals, yeah? But the way that they're having a go at me because I don't put this toxin in my body, I don't know what it is. And you know, people are coming up now and saying, how is it possible to come up with a vaccine in a year? Then they can start telling me, oh, this has been researching for years. But you didn't know what COVID was. How you could be researching it for years?
You see what that is, yeah? You see the people.
No, I'm sorry. But
you know what it's like? It's like Quagmire, Russian roulette. Quagmire playing Russian roulette. It's the same thing, bro. It's like, I'm not putting that in me. I'm sorry. That hasn't been tested. I don't know what's in it. Hell no.
That's no way. I had people that I know that I grew up with that they call themselves intellectuals, you know. And I'm thinking to myself, how can you be so dumb? And I'm like, but the one that was really great to me is like, I am delivering to hospitals every day. But you're telling me what you're being told on the news, and I should buy into what you're telling me and just ignore what I'm seeing. But you could have. I even got videos on my phone still of I used to go in the hospitals and I used to walk on the A&E thinking like, where are all the people? Where are all the people?
Just for the record, I don't know what Bizzle's address is, so leave me
just for the record.
Everybody know this is in the bottom corner. Like, he's fucking cryptic in this fucking podcast. Like, you seem like a cool guy, and you know what I mean? But like, if you let us know.
Hey, I'm really interested in what JD's about to say, bro.
Go on.
I was going to simply say that you're supposed to take that vaccine to protect yourselves and your families.
Yeah.
And,
he's trying to get out. He's trying to get out from what he said earlier, man. He's trying to balance it. He's trying to balance it out.
No, but even if you think about how this whole thing was, right? For me personally, right? All right. If you came, like, I don't know if you guys can cast in my matter when this thing first break.
No, like
we had the prime minister telling you, "Oh, it's not a problem. Let's wash your hands and sing God Save the Queen." Yeah, you remember that? Yeah.
Remember that? While you wash your hands,
my guy. If you had a shirt marked "Made in China," you was going in quarantine. If you had Chinese food, you was going in quarantine. I don't give a rat's. That's my mentality, bro. If you even just need, like, I don't care if you had chopsticks. you was going into quarantine. That's my mentality. That is how I would approach this thing. Yeah, but no, you can tell me that there was no checks in the air. You could just breeze through the airport, no problem. Man, come on, man. And then all of a sudden, it's like you go, and then 1 year you tell me, keep my distance, wash my hands, do all that kind of stuff, yeah? And you will keep everybody safe. You bring out a vaccine, and then all of a sudden, the only way to keep everybody safe is to take this poison. Man, piss off, man.
And then after that, it was, we're gonna have to learn to live with this.
Yeah,
that's it. And then it was all a false alarm, and you know what I mean? They wanted 8 billion people.
Intelligent people, I mean, people that I know that have been like scholars and studying for years, and they're just looking at people thinking, "You are dumb." Like I cannot. Like
now, I'm gonna say this. I'm not saying that nobody got this COVID. I'm not saying nobody got it.
Well, I lost a relative. I lost a relative.
Exactly. I'm not even saying that nobody.
Basically, a fucking head cold.
I'm just saying. I'm not even saying that no one passed away from it. But what happened was, anybody who contracted it, who was in hospital with cancer, like stage 3 cancer, late on, with this, with that, with the other, and they pass away from that. What did the news say? They passed away after being tested positive for COVID. It's mad. And they just add that to the numbers.
Let me just stop you there.
Up until now, no autopsy, none.
Right. Let me just stop you there, right? So basically, if you tested positive for COVID in the 4 weeks, the 28 days, right, the like prior to your death, you could have got hit by a fucking bus, right? And because you tested positive for COVID on the NHS records within 4 weeks, you were going down as a COVID death, right? And now, I don't know, just by chance, I've seen today that the British government has won a court case that's been going on in the shadows, right? Because someone wanted to take them to law over this excess deaths statistic, which is basically what we're talking about. And the British government have won the court case for all this information not to come out. So it's just been suppressed. But that being said, obviously we were talking about Michael Jackson, but I think like the way this has gone, it's all linked, right? But I think we need to get into this next week. I really do. I think we need to have a proper conversation and look back at the way everything unfolded.
We were talking about the same thing.
We'll be back next week for part 2 of our cancellation. I don't know who's going to make it. Hopefully, I'll be there. I don't know.
Definitely not the guy with the videos of the empty fucking A&E wards on his phone.
I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now for a fact. Like, and that's the thing was getting for my nerves, yeah. And it was how adamant people were. I'm like, it just was not making any sense. Because like I said, I'm out there. I'm delivering to hospitals every single day. The amount of like hand sanitizer and all kind of crap I'm delivering to these hospitals. But I'm thinking, where is all the people? Like, where's all this? Where is it bursting at the seams and we can't cope? It's a madness, bro. But it's like,
listen, bro.
Nobody's actually for that black play. I'm telling you.
With all of that shit, yeah. The worst thing for me was having to queue outside of friggin' Asda and Sainsbury's, man.
Oh,
for fucking
3 hours.
No, I think they're worse than that. Listen, they had you thinking that you had to wash your shopping. Like you have to wash because it can live on it. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Do you know what? You're getting all right, and like you've got a bottle of hand sanitizer if you want a lucky few to get it off the shelves while it's still there, and then you're rinsing the outside of the hand sanitizer. But I'll tell you what, we'll leave on this, right? So I was in Lidl, however you want to produce it, like whatever right? So my local supermarket. And they all done that thing where you'd have the footsteps on the floor and they were all like 2 meters apart, like, so you stood shopping, right? And I stood, and I shit you not, so it's in the aisle where there was like soft drinks, bottled water, etc. And there was a Romanian family that were on the next fucking set of fucking footprints in front of me. And this Romanian woman in front of me, whilst we can't even stand more, like any less than 2 meters apart, she looks at one of the bottles of flavored water, picks it up, she's having a bit of a read, she goes, right? And then she goes, cracks the lid, smells it, has a drink and goes, ugh, puts the lid back on and just puts it back on the fucking shelf. And I was like, oh, like I'm literally getting ready to go home and rinse bananas and you're taking drinks and put it back on the fucking
Hey, don't ever say rinse bananas again. hey. No, Diddy, man. Don't ever say rinse bananas. President rinses some bananas and walnuts. No.
God, yeah.
But no, do you know what I reckon?
What a
Yeah,
very
I've got to say
way
this.
Finish a
I've got to
terrible
say this.
conversation.
You've got someone high up who's making all these decisions, like cracking jokes, probably talking about, let's see how far we can push this. Yeah,
that's
right.
right.
That's the truth, you know.
It's a joke that's gone out of hand.
Not only they got to queue up for their food, but when they get home, let's see if we can make them wash it. And I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this scour, thinking, okay, do I wash the scour before using it, or do I? Now these people, man.
Hey, bro, like, no, seriously, like, do you remember seeing people on like Instagram and that fighting over toilet paper? Like scrapping over toilet
That
paper.
was the one that blew my mind, yeah. You know, that's the one thing that you do not need, yeah, is toilet paper. There is no, like, you can wash your ass, bro. Like, I mean, you don't actually need toilet paper. Bro. That's the one thing you don't need. And people were fighting.
You know the mad thing? These
no
people
sense,
that are
bro.
fighting, these people fighting over toilet paper probably don't even wash their ass properly. They probably don't even use water to wash their ass. They're just
that's the one thing you don't. That's the one thing that is not actually.
You don't have to if you rinse your bananas.
No, the people like running around all day. What do you call the things? What, dingleberries? Man.
Yeah, clingers, win
it. Hey, listen. Anyway, I'm just gonna say, regardless of what you think of this pod today, like and subscribe, man. Keep us in the picture, man. Keep us in the game, because they're gonna be out to cancel us, man.
Yeah,
but listen,
we're just saying none of us would ever unalive ourselves. So just
we'd never do that. Not. We're all happy, man. We're all happy. But no, listen, man. I will say this: Ramadan Mubarak to all my brothers and sisters out there practicing Ramadan right now, man. And we will be back on Tuesday with Don't Gas the Badge. We'll let you know a little bit closer to the time what we're going to be covering, but we'll have to probably wait and see what unfolds this weekend in the football to know what we're going to cover. And then we'll be back next week with the Don't Gas podcast. Potentially with
North
another
London derby, bro. North London derby's getting covered, man.
Yeah, true.
Oh, you feeling confident, yeah?
Well, after yesterday, why not?
Would either of them?
Whenever you ask someone if they're feeling confident and the next sound you hear is a horse sound, they ain't feeling confident. No sound like Mr. Air, like. Listen, it's been a pleasure, man. Thanks to Blunt, thanks to Bizzle, thanks to JD. I've been Buckstar. Thanks a lot, everyone. Peace out.